It is sadly 9/11, Wednesday, September 11th, 2019. We're in pre-algebra. It's very loud in here because the students are in groups. They are working on together numbers 2 through 5 on page 27. It's an exercise in solving problems. So you're going to use whatever strategy you come up with to solve those problems. We're going to go over them at 10:30. So what I'll do is I'll just keep the video going instead of having to load it up twice. In about 10 minutes, we're going to go onto the board, and hopefully you'll have 2 through 5 done in that time. And if not, if you're struggling with it, then we're going to help you figure it out on the board at approximately 10 minutes. So we're going to keep the video going even though I'm not instructing per se, instead of loading it up twice. And we're going to go over the answers to 2 through 5. They are working in groups. Do your best to come up with some problem-solving strategy to solve those 4 problems. It's really what algebra is all about, solving problems. So go ahead and work on that as they work on that. And then we'll go through the problem-solving strategy in 10 minutes. Listen, here's what you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to sit there and wait for everybody else. You need to have some impact on your group. So, if they're saying something and you're like, guys, I think you're on the wrong track, speak up. And when someone speaks up, you don't say, obviously, right? You guys are in junior high now. You don't make fun of or put someone down for a suggestion they have about the strategy, the process. You should not be divvying up the problems among people in your group. Everybody needs to be in the process of solving each problem, because that's the whole point here. That each problem presents a new strategy, so it's not a just get it done thing. It's a, hey, how can we all learn how to solve each particular problem? Does that make sense? Because I know what it's like. You're a student. You just want to get it.
Nickels are like 5 cards. That would be 25, 175, 95, and 1 plus 25 cents. So that's $3. I'm checking your work, Bella. 230. Bella is. So it's 7 Here, I'll read it. You're playing a game where you can collect blue chips and green chips. For every blue chip you get, it's 1 point. For every green chip you get, you lose 1 point. You have a total of 20 chips and a total of 14 points. How many chips do you have? How many green chips? This is one. So, add 1. Green equals minus 1. You have to get to 14.
6 minutes.
You have 20 of this. How many can you So then you have. So then you have 14 you have a total of 14 every green child is wrapped. So we have like 14 blue chips and then 5. Because for everyone. plus 2 you have 20 chips, and then it has to be 2 plus 2. Just try to get what I said.
And that's what.
I got it. And then we have. Yeah, you have 5 in the middle, 1 in the bottom. 18 blue, 4. 18 blue. If you have no, and then you got 3 green, 3 green, we're getting you 20. So whoever this is has 20 chips. And then you got that one. So you Let me do when we're done.
3 minutes. Wait, I guess. Sure you got it? Sure you're right. Triangle's right.
You have 8, 17, and 4, 5, 1 down. These are every green one. Yeah, I tried to. We only have like 1 green. Because if you have 16 blue, there's 2 problems left. Is it 4?
So this has to add up to 10, 10, oops. 10, 10, 10. Everything has to add up to 10. 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes.
Number 5.
Less than a minute.
Really? Alright, so, just try Okay, so add it to that. It's 17.
Everything has to equal 10.
Oh, I get
Less than a minute. Evelyn, you guys done? We're about to go over it. Stop. Stop.
We need more time.
It's okay. We're going to go over them. All right. Number 2. You have nickels, dimes, and quarters. You know you have 15 total coins. 5 of them you know are nickels. You have a total of $2.30. So once you establish you have 5 nickels, how much money do you have left to divide it up between dimes and quarters?
$2.05.
Okay, so did everybody get done with number 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so and 5 cents left. They tell you at the top, listen, there's a way to do this algebraically, but we're not into the algebra yet, so they're saying, hey, any strategy you can, it says at the top, use guess, check, and revise. So the point of this is use your mathematical sense. And what was your first guess? Does anybody still have all their writing down? What was your first guess between dimes and quarters? Not your final answer. What was your first guess, Noah?
3/4.
His first guess was 3/4. Well, 3/4. How many coins do you have left, by the way? You only have 10 left, right? You only have 10 coins left because you already used 5 for the nickel, so you're down to 205. If your first guess was 3/4, that would have given you 75 cents off, which would have made this $1.30 now. And if you had 3/4, how many? You tell me you got it on the first guess. No, you didn't get it on the first guess. So that would have given you 13 dimes. You only have 10 coins, so you can't have 13 dimes and 3/4. That was a good starting point. So they tried 3/4, but they found out that they would have had to use 13 dimes if they did that. From there, they probably did what? If they started with 3/4, found out they needed 13 dimes, they only have 10 coins. What did they do when their next guess of quarters? Did they guess more quarters or less? Everybody said? More quarters. So then they might have guessed 5, 6, or 7. Did everybody come up with 7 quarters and 3 dimes? 7 quarters. Eventually you got to the point where you got 7 quarters and 3 dimes because 7 quarters is $1.75 and 3 dimes is 30 cents. Amen? Everybody got that one now? There is a way to do it algebraically that we're not there yet, but you guessed, checked, revised, got it. Number 3, you're playing a game where you collect blue and green chips. Every blue chip you get is +1. Every green chip you get is -1. The game's over when you collect 20 chips. Whoever has the most points after 20 chips wins. You had a total of 14 points for your score. You should be able to figure out how many blue and how many green you got. Case. 6 what? Okay, if you had 6 green, how many blue would you have had? Okay, what's 14 minus 6? Because you get 14 blue is going to give you positive 14. But the 6 green takes away from that, which would leave you with a total of 8 points. Your total has to be 14 points. Z.
We have 17 blue and 3 green.
If you got 17 blue chips, each blue chip's worth 1 point. And you had 3 green chips, each green chip's minus 1. That's a total of 20 chips. What's your final score? 14. It's 17 and 3. 17. Hold up. Listen. It was a group activity. You're talking amongst yourselves. I get it. But focus here for 5 seconds. It ends up being 17 and 3. Does everybody understand why? 17 positive 1. Take away the 3 green. That's how you got 14 for your total score. You had to have 20 chips. Does everybody get it now? 17 positive 1s and 3 takeaways gives you 14. Anybody not get that one? I mean, not get it right, but do you not get it? How we got it? All right, number 4. Spence, what do you get?
$14.
How'd you guys come up with that?
We did 33 plus 5.
Right? Makes sense, everybody? Was 4 the easiest one, maybe you thought?
Yeah, that was.
You got $33. Spencer said they added 5. Why?
Because his mom gave him 5 left.
Okay, so in his hand, is it he or she? Damon. In his hand, he's got $38. What he needs total is, so what operation did you use? Because you needed to find difference between what he had and what he needed. So the process there would have been to add what he has plus what his mom gave him. So 52 is what he needed. What's the difference? And what he needed and what he had? $14. Amen? Okay. So the answer to number 4, $14. Now, number 5. Anybody ever play, what's it called, Sudoku? Sudoku, whatever. Anybody ever play that? Like there's books with crossword puzzles and seek and find, and then there's Sudoku. Have you ever played it? Anybody? Okay. Kind of like this. Every one of these had to add up to 10. Did any group figure it out? This group thinks they did. You think you figured it out?
I have a question.
Yes.
The,
Question over here, please, gentlemen.
Does the middle row also have to connect?
Every one of these has to equal 10. What? You're on the same group here?
Yeah.
One group got it, they think. All right. Lauren, what do you got?
Okay, so the middle one is 7, the top is 1, and then the...
Hold on. This is 7?
Yes,
This is 1?
yes. Okay, to the left.
Okay, wait. Everybody, every other group. If this is 1 and this is 7, what does this have to be?
2.
2.
If they're right, this has to be 2. Okay, go ahead.
To the left of the 1, pull down, is 6.
Hold on. Could this be 6?
No.
Did I draw this wrong?
No.
No, it's not.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Noah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's 6.
6. If this is 1 and this is 6, everybody, what does this have to be?
3. To the right of the 1 is 4. And 5.
3 plus 2 plus 5 is 10. 5 plus 5 is 10. 6 plus 3 plus 1 is 10.
You tricked that.
I know, I messed it up. I connected those.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, back to your seats.
Oh, I don't even know how to do that.
Good job.
I did one of those.
What time's this class over?
I don't know. I do not study. 4:30.
Who is? Thank you, Ethan. Gentlemen back there, please be quiet over here. Ethan, how much time I got? Somebody's got their little schedule out there. I'm not familiar with the secondary.
You have. There's a section in the book that actually says what.
This is over at 10:46?
No, 10:09. No. 10:49. Yeah, 10:49.
Okay, so we got 8 minutes. Listen, shh, go to page 28. Follow me quickly. You have to listen quickly because I'm going to go quickly, Dave. On page 28, example 1 is thankfully encouraging you to use mental math. I do that sometimes. Sometimes it's okay to use mental math. There'll be times when you're required to show all the steps. Other times, you're not. Here's an example. Let's go through these real quick. Raise your hand. Part A in example 1. What's the answer? What is n? If 15 minus n is 4, what's n? Yes, 11. Use your mental math quickly. Next, B, 8x. 8 times x equals 32. What's x? Casey, quick. Number C, r divided by 12 is 4. What's r got to be? If you divide it by 12, you get 4. Spence.
48.
Everybody say amen if you get that. Okay, those are nice and small and simple. Now go down to the bottom of page 28. Read the sentence on the left for A. 15 minus what number equals 4? I want you to see what they wrote so that's how you go about finding out the answer to that. Listen to it. 15 minus what number, that was x or n, equals, or they could have used the word, what word in math means equals? It's a very small word. Remember, of means multiply. What word could you substitute for equals? It's a real small word. 2 letters. Is, right? Okay. 15 minus what number equals 4? That's literally what number 1A said. Go to example 2. Now, in example 2, they're going to give you a solution to a problem. It may or may not be right. How do you check to see if the solution they gave you is right? N minus 8 equals 20. Is A possible solution to that problem? N minus 8 equals 20. No, because if you plug 12 in for N, what's 12 minus 8? So therefore, right, A is not correct. So 12 minus, gentlemen, 12 minus 20, or minus 8, does not give you 20. 12 plus 8 would, right? So 12 is not a solution. 28 is. So B is the solution there. Is this almost too easy? Examples 1 and 2? Okay, your turn now. Number 1, in the middle of page 29. We're going quickly. 5x equals 45. Raise your hand. You got it. 9. 5x equals 45. 5 times what gives you 45? 9. Number 2. Dominic. He says 16 plus 5 is 21. Again, we're using mental math. Quick. Preston. Something divided by 6 equals 9. 54. These are all from your times tables. No problem. Example 3. Okay. Now, example 3. First 2 examples, no problem. Let's see if we can figure out example 3 together. You go to Times Square for New Year's Eve. Nobody's ever done that, have they? Have you really?
Yeah, I was in New York with my sister.
Was it cold?
Yeah.
That seems like a really cool thing to do, but I would never want to do it.
Yeah.
You're in Times Square, New Year's Eve. The ball drops. The ball is 77 feet high, and it takes 60 seconds. You know, they start the countdown when we get to 11:59, right? So it's going to take 60 seconds for the ball drop. It's 77 feet high. After 54 seconds, it's gone down 69 feet. How many more feet will the ball drop? How are you going to figure that out? It's not as hard as it seems. Look at all the information they gave you. The ball drops a total of 77 feet. After 54 seconds, it's dropped 69 feet. How many more feet will the ball drop? What's the useful information there? Cameron, it's going to drop 8 more feet because Cameron says, okay, what's the question? How many more feet will the ball drop? Does the time have anything to do with finding this answer? No. Remember back in elementary where they would give you, there was a lesson that you always had in 3rd, 4th, they would give you a story problem and you had to eliminate the unnecessary stuff, draw a line through. Okay, the time actually in this is irrelevant. They just wanted to know how many more feet. So Cameron did 77 minus 69. She got 8 feet. That's how many feet are left. Everybody got it? Turn the page. Here's your homework. Ready? You just got to do 6 through 14. Since I gave you limited time, and look at 11 through 14 is just matching. You just got to write the letter that's correct. So you don't have much time, but you don't have much work either. 6 through 14, page 30. 6 through 14, page 30. Since we were so rushed today, plus it's Wednesday. I don't know if anybody, do the teachers even go by the old Wednesday youth group, less homework? It used to be kind of,
Elementary does.
elementary does, and usually it's the teenage years that you do more in youth group. So anyway, I don't know.
I thought you said 11 through 14.